House of the Dragon is back. I have been waiting patiently for 2 years for this season to come out, and oh my, did they come swinging. I wasn't expecting to feel nostalgic, but my god, the beginning of that episode, oh, with the Stark little theme, oh my gosh, oh my goodness gracious. Kragan Stark is a hit. Jace is definitely going to become one of my favorite characters. For real, for real. I have a feeling he's going to become like the Robb Stark of this show. Last season I didn't really care much about any of the kids, really. I think Aemond was the highlight, at least in the kids' side of things, last season. This season they definitely have more of a focus, and I appreciate that, because honestly, I didn't give a damn about any of the kids last season. But I think Jace is gonna be a cool guy later on. All right. Speaking of the children, like Aegon, he's goddamn hilarious. Okay, I love Aegon. He is funny. That actor is fantastic. Okay, Rhaenyra says like 3 things this entire. She says a full sentence this entire episode. She's grieving. She's grieving. This whole episode, the whole premiere, she just sits there and grieves over the death of her son from last season. We see Alicent be a little bit of a hypocrite, but there's a lot of references in that scene that I really like. She's hooking up with our boy Criston Cole, and honestly, it makes me question how long they've actually been going at it. I like the shot of her putting her shoes on. Kind of a funny little nod towards another scene from last season. Aegon has taken a liking to his son, his heir, Jaehaerys, his son that he had with his sister and wife, Helaena. I think the other one's Jaehaera, the sister of Jaehaerys, Jaehaera. They're twins. And I do want to point out that Aegon notices the difference between those two, and I think that's kind of cute for something later on in the episode. It's kind of cute. But Aegon likes Jaehaerys. He actually likes his son, and he's trying to treat Jaehaerys better than Viserys treated him. And for a complete monster of a character, that man is not a good man. But deep down in there, I think is just a boy who never got the love that he needed growing up. So he turned into the monster that he is, which is just the complexity within that character. That guy's a piece of garbage, right? He's a piece of garbage, but there's reasons behind it. Which is, most bad people in the real world, there's reasons why they do the things that they do. Trauma, childhood neglect, it's very real. It doesn't mean you excuse all the things that they do, Aegon, you piece of shit, but it makes his character feel a lot more real. And he brings Jaehaerys to court with him, because he needs to learn how to be a king or whatever. That being said, a lot of people have been hating on this premiere, I've noticed, and I don't know why. Because honestly, for a premiere, this episode's fantastic. Alright, this episode is beautiful even. People hate on this episode because for some reason they wanted a red weddings type of event for the ending of this episode. If you don't know, if you don't know, I don't know why you're watching this video, but for some reason, if you're not in on the loop, this episode ends with an assassination attempt. These assassins, named Blood and Cheese, went to go try to assassinate Aemond, but they couldn't find Aemond, so they went to go kill the heir to the throne, Jaehaerys. Aegon's his kid. And people are disappointed in that scene. In the books, this is how it goes in the books, alright? This is how it goes. This is how this scene goes in the books. Let me lay it out for you. In the books, there are 2 sons. An older one and a younger one. Maelor, I believe, the younger one's name. And Blood and Cheese forces Helaena to choose between the brothers. Which one to kill. Helaena chooses the younger one because she thinks that he's further down the line of succession, and kind of fucked up. But that's just how politics go. When you intertwine the personal and the politics, it's just fucked up things happen. Anyways, and then Blood and Cheese, the assassins, killed the older one instead. which left a big mark on Helena and that kid, because that kid has to grow up knowing that his mom chose him to die, and it's a whole thing, really messed up. But in the show, there is no brother. What happens is they show up, go, hey Helena, which one's which? Because they couldn't tell. They're just boy and girl. They couldn't tell which one's whose and who, which actually has a bigger, which says a bit on like the whole thing about Jaime and Cersei, how they couldn't tell themselves apart when they were younger. So what was like it falls in line with the show's whole theme about being a woman in that kind of society. You know, Cersei was very upset that even though when they were kids, the adults couldn't tell who was who, but she had to go, you know, learn how to be a woman while Jaime was able to go fight in the yards with the other boys. You know, that's a huge theme within this series. And I thought they hit it pretty well when Blood and Cheese couldn't tell who was the heir and who was the girl. But Helena gives up Jaehaerys, and the episode ends with her running out of the room with her daughter, her daughter, and Blood and Cheese off screen. You hear it, them slicing off the head of Jaehaerys, and people were kind of upset that they didn't show it. Personally, you know, I don't need to see a toddler's head getting chopped off. You know, I think the sound was good enough. That was a gruesome sound. Okay, that was messed up. All right, I don't need to see every gruesome scene in this show. Okay, some of the best moments in the show, in my personal opinion, was when they didn't show it. Like Ned Stark, they didn't show his head getting chopped off. It cuts to Arya's reaction, but people were complaining that this wasn't like a giant event. They even dare to say that it was botched. It was botched. They botched the moment. And they said Helena should have been screaming and had a Catelyn Stark reaction. And I just gotta sit there like, what the hell are you talking about? That does not go in line with her character at all. Have you not paid attention to her character? She's a little quirky up in the head. She doesn't say much. She's not a very expressive type of gal. I personally love Helena, so that scene really jerked me. Alright, it jerked me a little bit because I love Helena. I think Helena is a very fascinating character. But that's when the episode ends. Helena runs off to go find Alicent and Kristen Cole banging on the bed, and she goes, "They killed him! They killed the boy!" Which begs the question, if Cole was outside, you know, actually at his guard post, that might not have happened. I think it's a great premiere and a great start to the Dance of the Dragons. I haven't read Fire and Blood, but I know all the spoilers, and woo-wee, I cannot wait for more of the dragon show, man. But I love the blood and cheese scene. Alright, I think it's a very horrific scene. Another scene to point out before we get out of here, I almost got teary-eyed when Jace showed up and tried to be a good, strong heir to Rhaenyra. And he just broke down, and that scene hurt me so much. Jace shows up back from the north and the Vale. God, he really went everywhere in that episode. He flew around. He zipped around. Good lord. He went from the Vale to the north to the Wall, all the way back down to Dragonstone in a single episode. That's a little wild in my opinion, but that scene almost got like I felt the tears. I won't lie. That scene was so sad. Jace trying to still be a strong man. I don't know. I'm just kind of spitballing. I just got out of the shower. I'm just kind of spitballing. I don't know how much of this will be in the video. I don't know if any of this would make it into the video because I'm just kind of spitballing. I didn't jot down a single fucking thought in my head. I'm just kind of throwing my word bombing out there. Anyways, hope you guys have a good day. I'll see you all later.